What's up YouTube, my name is Amos Bro. For this video we are doing a first impressions of K Return of Kings, which is the sequel season to the original K and the movie known as Missing Kings. And in case you're interested, yes, you kind of have to have watched the first two to have an idea of what is going on in this season. But we can remedy that situation. You can pick up the first season of K on DVD or Blu-ray. You can also watch it subbed or dubbed on Neon Alley, and currently you can also watch the movie Missing Kings on Neon Alley, because Viz got the rights back. They are currently streaming that in subbed form. The first season is in subbed and dubbed, and of course this one is currently only in sub form. So let us get to yapping about tonight's episode. So this is the beginning of a new season, or I guess in many respects you can almost think of it as its own standalone series. The very beginning was interesting because it went back in time to when Tadara Tosca and Makoto Suo from HOMRA were still alive, and they fought against Scepter 4. And it was really interesting because when you're watching it, Reise Munakata, the king of Scepter 4, he kind of dove from the helicopter and landed in front of his clan, and they had a battle. And it was very interesting the way they did it, although certain things I can actually do without, namely the gratuitous butt shot that they gave Seiri Awashima, and one camera shot they stopped conveniently at her boobs. So you could pretty much, see that. And also when, Kusanagi hit her at one point, he unfortunately unbuttoned part of her outfit, so you could kind of see, probably more than some of you would want, and I'm with you on that one. The hypersexualization of that character, she don't need it, trust me. She's perfectly capable of being a very strong female character without it. But I'm trying not to get on that rant. Anywho, so they showed this. Now this actually goes on, this fight between HOMRA and Scepter 4, which you go back in time for. It takes about 7 or 8 minutes, and that's before they actually get to the title of the episode, which is Knave, the first episode. And when you actually flash forward, you find out that obviously we have a new Red King. Her name is Anna. She runs HOMRA. We still have a Blue King in Reise Munakata, and we are looking for our Silver King, Adolf K. Weissman, otherwise known as Yashiro Asana. So should tell you, reprising their roles, we do have Mamoru Mayano reprising the role of Saruhiki Fushimi, and Daisuke Ono, who by the way was in Virtue's Last Reward, reprising the role of Kuro Yatogami, the swordsman for the Silver Clan. So you already got some heavyweights up in this series, and a very, very interesting setup, because as we come to find out, they are going to have a common enemy. That common enemy is the Green Clan, called the Jungle Clan. And they work a little bit differently than these two. You see, the Green Clan wants to lure out the Silver King. They also want to take down the Red King and the Blue King. They want to take out both clans. But they also have this really weird thing. They also have, quote, points. Basically, for every kill they perform, they get a certain amount of points, depending on how, quote, prestigious the mark is. An example would be if you took out Anna, or you took out, oh, I don't know, Reze, it would be 100,000 points. So yes, it's literally like a video game to them. And one of the clansmen that we are going to meet through the course of this particular season, well, I'll give you his name in about 30 seconds. There you go. Sukana Gujo. And he is voiced by, or she, I believe it's a he, is voiced by Rei Kujima. If I mispronounced that, my apologies. Well, our friend here, he's a bit of a swordsman. So it'll be interesting to see, especially if they have to take on Kuro, what kind of fight that's going to be. Because I firmly believe you don't bring a knife to a gunfight, and this kid might be bringing a pea shooter to Kuro's bazooka, but we'll see. They did something very interesting in this first episode. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that now. In the first episode, what they did was, in the first season, what they did was mainly they focused on your main players, and the other members of the crew didn't really get that much talking time or screen time. For the first episode, they did something pretty unique. What they had was they had all the members, practically, of Scepter 4 sitting around a table, and they were just kind of shooting the shit for a minute. But of course, they were also working with Fushimi, who doesn't really take kindly to BS. He wants to get a job done, and we're going to get it done. Cut the small talk. But it was interesting how everything, worked out in the long run. And it's interesting that they sort of figured out ahead of time that the Jungle Clan wants to get after their boss and wants to get after the Red Clan. So they're kind of having to work together to take these guys on. Very unique. Animation was pretty interesting. It seems like they've really upped their game, which seemed impossible from the first season and from the movie. And they even did little tricks with the camera. I'll give you an example. In Munakata's office, they show his nameplate, which obviously in Japanese is like Captain Munakata, and then it pulls back and shows him sitting at his chair. I thought that was pretty neat. And just the way, like, when they showed the first fight at the very beginning, the way they do the different, camera sweeps, it's almost like you're watching a live action sequence, and you're not. You're watching an animated one. But the way they do the camera work, you're just going, holy shit. And it just blows my mind the way they seem to be upping their game with this series. And they're going to be telling, apparently, another story, which will be interesting through the course of this 13-episode season. And that is about Munakata. If you remember, in the first series, I almost said the first movie, in the first series, it was Makoto Suo's sort of Damocles that was decaying to the point where eventually it was going to fall, and if it hit him, it was going to cause a big problem. Now, it's Munakata's turn. And this brings an interesting question. If Munakata were to go away, if he had to die, who would take his place? Well, there's two obvious choices. There's Saruhiko Fushimi, the defector from HOMRA, and there's Seirei Awashima. Now, you'll sit there and go, well, Josh, wait a second. This is called Return of Kings, not Return of Queens. You'd be correct. Just one thing. In this world, the term king is genderless. You see that little girl, Anna? Yeah, she's the king for the Red Clan. So think about that for a second. Imagine if, say, oh, I don't know, Reze kicked the bucket. And let's say, for the sake of discussion, they needed to find a new suitor. Wouldn't it be interesting to have two women as kings? I think it would be, and actually I bounced that discussion off a friend of mine when we were trying to predict what was going to happen from the story we were reading about from the first episode. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing where this 13-episode season is going. We started on October 3rd. Actually, technically we started October 2nd. We are going to end on Boxing Day, December 26th. Now, we may actually do the review for the season on that day, because I don't think I'm going to do a review on Christmas. But, we shall see. I will say I am very much looking forward to this, and the animation, like I said, has stepped up its game. You know what I'm kind of skeeved about, which is the idea of sexualizing Awashima, because I think she's a lot better than just, male fan service. They didn't really do that much. I didn't see the problem with Anna, little girl. But I know there's people that were kind of skeeved about her for whatever reason. Her and Kakuri. And I think it may have been some official art that was shown for something else, which that I can understand. But I didn't really see an issue so far, at least so far this season, with Anna and the way they have her portrayed and drawn. My issue, of course, is with Seirei. But yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to this. I hope you're looking forward to this with me. December will be the series, or hopefully not the series review, hopefully this will be a season review, and we'll be looking forward to a third season with Seirei, maybe as a new king. Who knows? But I will talk to you all in the near future, my friends. Y'all take care. I'll holler at you in the near future. Bye-bye.